There's a lot of conversation going on around this Russell Simmons and Kimora Lee. Their discussion online. There's a lot of discussion about these two people. But let's slow this discussion down because when a former power couple takes their family issues to the public square, it's easy for us to pick sides, but much harder and more necessary for us to understand the full picture. So today, we are not, today's conversation really is not about dragging Russell Simmons. It's not about defending Kimora Lee Simmons, Kimora Lee Simmons either. It's about truth. It's about parenting. It's about accountability. It's about power. It's about money and legacy. And what happens when unresolved wounds turn into public narratives like we are seeing in this case? So let's talk about what each side is saying, where each argument holds weight, where each side falls short, and the lessons that every man, woman, parent, and partner should learn from this. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Stand in Your Power. My name is Femi, and let's look at what sparked this public feud that's going on between Russell Simmons and Kimora Lee Simmons. Now, the recent drama ignited after Kimora Lee Simmons gave an interview stating that she does not have any meaningful relationship with the fathers of her children, including Russell Simmons. She also said that she has largely been the primary parent. And immediately, Russell Simmons responded publicly and he was pushing back hard. And what did he say? He claimed that he paid $50,000 monthly for nearly 20 years, that he was not an absent father. Okay. He also said that there are two sides to every story, right? And that he was also her friend and all that. Then Kimora then fired back publicly, calling his claims lies, reminding the public that their daughters are grown women, and telling Russell Simmons to answer his accusers, referencing the sexual misconduct allegation that had followed him for years, the Dixon lady. So now the internet is watching what should have remained a private family, reckoning. We are watching it unfold before our very eyes. Okay. Now, in this video, we're going to be making a case for both people. So I'm going to first of all look at the case for Russell Simmons. Let's be fair. If truly Russell Simmons provided consistent long-term financial support at the level that he claims that he did, then that matters. Okay? Money pays for things like education. Money would pay for housing. Money would pay for healthcare, right? Money would bring stability of some sort. Money would bring opportunities. It will bring, some things and much more. And I want us to understand that financial provision is not nothing. Financial provision is not irrelevant, and it should not be erased from the story. If indeed what he claimed to have provided was what he did provide, okay? So it should not be erased from the story at all. Russell also points to a business and a legal dispute. Okay. That legal dispute included a lawsuit involving stocks, and he was suggesting that their fallout was due to that, meaning it was about, I would say their fallout was much more about money and power as it is about parenting. Now, let's look at it from his perspective. He may feel rewritten out of the family narrative. I'm feeling that's what he's feeling. He may feel his contributions to the family were minimized. Okay? He may feel punished relationally over unresolved financial conflict. These feelings, those feelings are human. Okay? However, I'm also going to, like I always do, I always like to turn my glasses around. I like to see things from both angles. Okay? So I'm going to also make a case against Russell Simmons. Okay? Because there's the uncomfortable truth that money is not the same as presence. Paying bills. A lot of men make this mistake that they think paying bills automatically means I'm there emotionally. No, paying bills does not automatically mean you are emotionally available. It doesn't mean that you represent psychological safety. Paying bills does not show any form of consistent parenting. Neither does paying bills show healthy father-child relationship. You can fund a life and still be absent from it, whether you are a father or you are a mother. You can actually be physically present, but you are not present. Okay? And we also have the issue of public credibility. When someone facing serious allegations respond to parenting criticism online instead of addressing the most serious questions surrounding their reputation, many people will see it as deflection. Okay? And when family access appears entangled with business leverage or lawsuits, it raises deeper questions about why love became transactional in the first place, in my opinion. So I'm looking at it like you're talking plenty. Where did all he's talking about is financial, money, business, stock. He's not attacking, he's not even telling us anything about his parenting skills, the relationship he has with his children. All right, that being said about Russell, let's look at the case for Kimora Lee Simmons. Let's now talk about her. When she said she was the primary parent, in my opinion, she's speaking to a reality many women know too well, a reality that I know very well. This woman is speaking to the daily labor, to the emotional load, to the invisible mental work, physical work of raising children. Primary parenting is not about money alone. It's about who shows up when the camera is off. It's about who attends, the games, who is there for the child emotionally. Kimora also made a key point. Their daughters are grown women and not bargaining chip. That matters. She's also drawing a moral line by saying, before rewriting family history, go and address the serious allegations that already exist before you come here and attack me on me saying I'm the primary parent and I don't really have a relationship with the father of my kids. Why don't you go and attend to your accusers? Okay. And that stance resonates with many people, with many women who believe accountability comes before you trying to control the narrative. Because in my opinion, Russell Simmons is trying to control the narrative. Now, let's look at the case against Kimora Lee Simmons. I know people already know the story. I'm not gonna, you know, regurgitate the story. Okay. She has baby fathers and all of that. And one of her baby fathers was arrested or was convicted for fraud and all of that. And there was a transfer of stock, or there was a financial transaction where she made use of Russell Simmons stocks, and that is what he's screaming and shouting about. That is what he's bitter about, as he should. Okay. So now, talking about Kimora, you going out and saying you have no relationship with a father who allegedly provided consistent support can feel a kind of way in the public, right? Even if emotional presence was lacking, even if pain existed, people struggle when the narrative feels, very, very flattened. Let me know what your thoughts are. Okay. Um, yeah, people feel flattened when people feel a certain kind of way. So her decision to publicly reference Russell living in a non-extradition country, while emotionally understandable, escalated the conflict. Okay, she attacked, she spoke about him and in whatever ways. Okay, at that point, the argument stopped being about parenting, and the argument became about character assassination. The argument became about character assassination and about her trying to protect herself. So depending on who you ask, okay, and public statements during ongoing disputes are rarely neutral. They are strategic, even though they are truthful. So that is where I draw the line for him. Like, if you want to talk, talk. If you want to say anything about your parenting, you can say it, but don't. I didn't feel, in my opinion, I didn't feel that she needed to bring in the father of her kids. Okay, so that's my opinion. I mean, public statements, your comments, and everything, you can bring it on. Okay, but we need to be talking about the bigger truths, because both things can be true. And this is the part the internet hates. Russell can have provided financially and he can still have failed emotionally. Kimora can have carried the parenting load and still oversimplified parts of the story. So this isn't a villain hero narrative for me. It's a fractured family story that is being told in the public with decades and decades of unresolved pain underneath. Both parties are pained. The children, they've gone through trauma, okay? And people might want to argue. There are videos online of the child saying one of the daughters actually got dated a sugar daddy, and before then there was videos of the girl telling her father that if he doesn't give her money, or if he doesn't raise up her allowance or something like that, that she's going to date a sugar daddy. And I'm like, what the heck? So whatever is going on with them, what I can see here is a fractured family story that is being told in the public. Years and years of unresolved pain. Russell is saying, hey, you cannot minimize my impact like this. I contributed into this family. I gave you money. And Kimora is saying, hey, I carried the weight. Even if you brought the money, I carried the weight. I was the one who was there. I was the mother. I was the one who showed up. Before you come here and run your mouth, go and attend to your accusers. So these are people who are pained. What are lessons that we should learn here? Number one, money. From what I take in the whole thing, money does not replace your presence. If you think money replaces your presence, go and think again and think very well. In as much as provision is important, when you are absent emotionally, it leaves a debt. It leaves a debt that money cannot pay. It leaves a hollow emptiness that even time cannot fill. Okay? Parenting is more than a bank transfer. I keep saying it. Children remember who listened. Children remember who protected. Children remember who showed up, not just who paid. So there has to be balance. Okay? And another thing I'm saying here is we need to learn how to keep business out of family bonds. Once love becomes leverage, okay, relationships will collapse under the weight of resentment at every point in time. There should be proper boundaries between business and family and love. Although sometimes it can intertwine. If it does intertwine, we should know the lines not to cross. Okay? And as a family or as separated parents, when you have public wars, they become generational receipts because the internet never forgets. Even if the internet forgets, the people who were at the receiving end, they will not forget. Where I come from, they said the person who farted may forget that they farted. It's the people who inhaled the nastiness of the smell of that fart that would forever remember. Everything you say online today becomes something your children would have to live with tomorrow. Okay? These are the lessons we are learning here from what's going on between Kimora and Russell. Accountability builds credibility. You cannot outrun unresolved allegations with family narrative. Your integrity will come first, whether you are the man or you are the woman. So this story is not about who is winning or who won the internet today. A lot of people have arguments. Oh, he spent money. Oh, she did this. Oh, she did that. That's not what this should be about. What we are learning here today is about what happens when power replaces communication, when money replaces intimacy, and when unresolved wounds are carried into adulthood. Okay? It can happen to anybody. If you are watching this and you're a parent, you're a partner, or you're a leader, learn from this before your family becomes headline. Because that healing that is done privately is always cheaper than damage that comes out publicly. And again, we hear Kimora coming up to say, oh, I was very young. I was a child. I was 16 when you dated me. So it's looking like, but she went along with it. Some people say she went along with it. Some people say, oh, that was the reason why she decided to take all the money. Maybe because he exploited her. The truth that a lot of people should know is, especially men, you are dating the young girls. You think they are controllable at that age. Good. But when these young girls grow into women and they come into their own, they make decisions. When they begin to know who they are, when they begin to understand that they have an identity and they begin to realize their self-worth, they will make decisions accordingly. So Uncle Russell Simmons, I don't know what to say to you. You made your bed, and right now you're lying on it. Allegedly, you have also sexually assaulted women, and that's why you ran away to Bali. This should be a lesson for men and also for those young ladies out there who start very early and you are still navigating life. We need to be careful. This is a family that started. They were known. We saw them as the power couple. But then along the line, things happened, and they had to go their separate ways because people evolve. Things happen. Mindset changes. Okay. And instead of these two people to heal privately, they are coming out to talk and bash each other. I always maintain sometimes it's better for you to heal privately. It's always cheaper than the damage that is done when you start batching yourselves in public. Okay? If this conversation made you think, I want you to please like, share, and comment. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. As always, I always like to read the comment section. The comment section is always buzzing. Okay, please do well to share this video with someone who needs perspective and not gossip. And remember, legacy is built in private and it will always be judged in public. Thank you once again for watching. My name is Femi and this remains Stand in Your Power. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. I will see you in the next one. Bye. Bye-bye.